the IEEE Standards Association, driving global innovation through standards and consensus building. IEEE Working Groups, made up of dedicated volunteers from around the world, are the core technology drivers within the organization. The proven IEEE standards development process, guided by IEEE program managers and open stand principles, allows for due process, balance, openness, and transparency amongst entities and individuals, building consensus when developing a standard. In this video, you will see how comments received during the balloting process may be incorporated into a draft standard. After reviewing the agenda, the patent slides for standards development meetings, and disclosing affiliations, comment resolution group members can now move on to the business of reviewing the comments.
Before we review the comments, let's review the comment disposition statuses. Accepted. Accepted the change as suggested with no deviation. Revised. The suggested change was not incorporated into the draft in the exact way the balloter suggested. Rejected. The suggested change was not accepted by the comment resolution group for incorporation into the draft. Let's remember that use of revised or rejected disposition status will require the comment resolution group to provide sufficient information in the disposition detail to explain the change that was made or explain why the change was not made. John, as secretary, can you please advise which comment we'll be starting with?
Sure, we left off on comment number 2. I've got it up on the screen.
Oh, great. Let's review the comment and then focus on the proposed change. The sentence on line 13 is not accurate since there are multiple insulating fluid options. Please see proposed change for suggested replacement.
This is a straightforward request. The commenter would like to modify the sentence to say, there are multiple insulating fluid options that may be suitable for this application.
I agree and recommend we make the change exactly as requested.
I'm not sure we need to adjust the sentence, but I'm not opposed to making the change.
If there's no strong objection to the proposed changes, I'll enter a disposition status of accepted and leave the disposition detail field blank. I'll make the exact change as recommended, and I'll update the draft and send it out.
Does anyone disagree? Okay, let's move on to the next comment.
In the next comment, it requests the replacement of a figure.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the suggested figure?
You know, I don't think the suggested figure makes any improvement when compared to the existing one.
I agree. The present figure provides a more detailed representation of the material.
So do we want to reject this comment?
Yes. For the disposition detail, I'd like to suggest the following. Okay, the comment resolution group has reviewed your proposed change to replace figure 1 with the revised figure 2. The comment resolution group determined that the original figure provides additional detail to the reader that the suggested replacement does not. So for that reason, the comment resolution group has rejected the inclusion of your proposed change.
Did I capture that correctly?
Is the group in agreement?
Yes.
Great, let's move on to the next comment. The next comment states, please see proposed change for modification on sentence line 19.
So here the balloter is suggesting a modification to the sentence that says change the core temp limit to temp rise over ambient, i.e. 90, as opposed to change the core temp limit to temp rise over ambient, i.e. 70 or 90 Celsius.
I agree in principle. However, I think the value should be modified with the following. Change the core temp limit to temp rise over ambient to 80 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Celsius.
Any other comments?
I agree. I think the wording provided by Melissa is a better option.
If we go with the third option, what disposition status will we use?
Since the change is not exactly as requested by the balloter and it has not been rejected, the disposition status we'll use is revised.
So is there any objection to using Melissa's suggestion?
No.
No? Okay, so there's no objection here. to making the proposed change, we'll enter into disposition status of revised, enter the change as recommended, and I'll update the draft and send it out to the group.
Thanks, John. Does anyone disagree? Great. Thank you for participating in today's comment resolution. At this time, we have completed our initial review and provided recommendations for all comments received. The next step is to report our recommendations to the working group for approval so that a recirculation ballot can then be initiated.
Thank you for watching the IEEE Sponsored Ballot Comment Resolution Process Overview. To recap, there are 3 possible outcomes, or disposition statuses. Accepted comments. The change has been accepted as suggested with no deviation. A revised comment. The suggested change by the commenter was modified by the comment resolution group when incorporated into the draft. A rejected comment. The change was not accepted by the comment resolution group for incorporation into the draft. Keep in mind a disposition detail must be provided for revised or rejected comments. Any changes to the draft approved by the comment resolution group should be highlighted. Guidelines for comment resolution can be found on the IEEE-SA RevCom webpage. Keep an eye out for future videos documenting the ins and outs of the IEEE standards development process on standards.ieee.org.